Alright, here for round 3. This hand is not great, but I think it's a keeper. It's pretty weird since we had 2 pain lands, so we're going to take a bunch of damage probably off the Siege Rhino and off our whips and whatnot, but I think it's okay. And I could certainly see waiting on Thoughtseize like a turn or 2. And it looks like we're just in a little, well, sort of a mirror. He's 4 color. This could actually be my Daily Digest deck, I suppose. So do I care more about Courser or the Satyr? I think it's the Courser, but if he's a Soul of Theros deck, that's kind of annoying if he hits that, but I think it's just taking the Coursers, right? And depending on what deck he is, this Doomwake is either great or terrible. Well, it's like medium or terrible. I don't think it's ever going to be great, actually. But another 5-drop, certainly not what I wanted. And dear God, this is the ugliest island ever. Ugh, stop drawing 10 drops. This is why hands like this are pretty bad. This deck needs a Faithless Looting type effect. It would be great. So we see a whip, so it looks like he's just fairly normal as that is. Fairly normal 4-color whip deck. Playing the Greed with Sidisi and the Rhino. Can't really disagree with that, though. Both of those are great cards. And we could use land, and we hit one. Another Pain Land, Urborg on top, so that alleviates some of the damage from our Pain Lands, which is kind of the point of the Urborg in the first place. So now we actually get to cast our spells. And he's just going to cut our guy down, which is fine, since we already got the value out of it, you know. And is our opponent just on mono air? Kind of looks that way. So I think, I don't know, if he's like Sidisi and Rhino, he probably still has Hornet Queen, so I don't see much of a point of running Doomwake out here right now. It would use my mana a little more efficiently, but I don't think I'm going to be playing 2 spells in a turn anytime soon, so it's probably not a big deal. All of his lands are these gross white-bordered ones. You playing a Hornet Queen? Look at that. Good thing we didn't Doomwake yet. Because then he probably would have waited until he had an answer for the Doomwake. So now I can trade this Rhino with this Hornet. And I think I want to do that. If he peeled the whip, so be it. I mean, I can just like re-Doomwake him. Which is not a big deal. And now he doesn't have a Death Toucher, so I'm free to just attack with my Doomwake. And I actually want to keep that in play, so I'm fine with trading the Rhino for the Hornet Queen. Now he has a Sidisi. We might be able to set up a turn where we play 2 enchantments to like kill all these zombies. It's going to be tough to actually kill the Sidisi, but he can't really attack with it, so it's mostly under control. And since I drew a Caryatid, I'm going to play Courser, so then I can go Courser Caryatid, although like there's certainly some merit to just getting the whip out there. And I guess Downfall's good enough to keep. Maybe not, though. Like, we have enough mana for Hornet Queen next turn, so do we want a Downfall? Is that even a big deal? He's sending me a message. His message says, you have the perfect anti-draws. Okay, dude. Yeah. I feel like I can just ignore this Sidisi for the most part. I'm going to bottom this. Not going to attack so that he can't attack with Sidisi. And now we'll just get some Bs out there. And now he has to draw a bunch of different stuff to actually get back in this. And then next turn I can go Eidolon Whip, double Doomwake him, attack with a bunch of stuff. So he's got a Rhino, not that big of a deal. Yeah, he does have a Queen in his yard. So Whip would kind of do some stuff, but not really since I still have this Doomwake. And now I'm just kind of going through the motions here where I'm pretty sure I'm winning. So he's a 2/3 and a 1/1. I can just attack with everyone. Just try and end this game as quickly as possible. Something like Treasure Cruise into Doomwake and Courser or whatever. Like, I don't know. Just gotta get him dead. It's alright, mirror match. Love Fariko, love Reclamation Sage. Eidolons are great. Ajani's great. Other end is pretty reasonable. He had Hornet Queens. It might be that in order to fit in... Oh, excuse me, still tired. It might be that in order to fit in all this stuff, he is not playing Doomwake Giant, although that would be pretty strange, I think. Oh, sorry. But regardless, I think one queen can safely go, and I'm looking at these other queens. They don't seem that great. But he has Hornet Queens of his own. So if I don't have queens and I'm cutting down on Doomwakes, I'm a little light on that stuff. So this is kind of interesting. Because I don't know what else to really cut. I think, like, since I have Eidolon, the Caryatids are a little bit better. Maybe I don't need both Ajani's, because I'm on the draw, and he has Rhino, so it seems like he might be able to get a kind of aggressive draw where Ajani wouldn't be as good. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep in 2 queens and 2 Doomwakes to hedge against him having either or not having Doomwake. Not having Doomwake is kind of crazy, but might be possible. And I think I want to keep in all the Rhinos to stop his Rhinos and his Sidisi's. Same with all the removal spells. Maybe I just don't have the Ajani's at all. But then the Caryatids are worse when I don't have Ajani's to ramp into. So. Yeah, maybe we'll just do this. Not a fan of only 2 Caryatids. Like, you basically either want them or you don't. And this hand's okay. It's certainly not good. But perfect mana, have removal spell from one of his powerful 4-drops and a 4-drop of my own. Draw another land, certainly not what I want. And don't want that land either. And he has Ashiok in his deck. And we've had 3 lands in a row, so definitely not in a good spot here. We only had to draw 2 of them, thankfully, but still kind of brutal. And he Thoughtseize us, jeez. Took our downfall. That makes me think he has a Sidisi. 4 lands in a row. Can't be that many more left in our deck. Just an Ashiok. And hit 3 creatures, of course, because we've just drawn all lands. It's pretty funny. So at this point, I would expect him to have a removal spell. Odd that he does not attack with Satyr Wayfinder. He has a Rhino of his own. And he's just going to put Freaka in play. Which doesn't do too much right now, but it does mean that he has this card that's really tough for me to beat. So hopefully he blocks with both, trying to kill my Rhino. But it's kind of silly just because I wouldn't attack unless I had something there. So we get to take out his Ashiok because he was a little careless. Could have just kept milking it and ramping it up to make it so one Rhino hit wouldn't kill it. So I think that was a little overzealous. This deck's pretty interesting. Now he's attacking me. Alright, so we have another Rhino. I initially was just going to like Sage the Courser, I guess, to prevent him from getting an even bigger advantage. But now I think we can just try and go on the Rhino offensive. That's probably our best plan. Even though once he starts holding stuff open for Freaka, that plan gets worse and worse. But maybe we can put him in a defensive position, which will buy us enough time to like claw our way back in this. Get some more late game stuff going on. And he has a whip on top, which is certainly something that I'd rather Sage instead of a Courser. Okay, so we do have an Eidolon. That's great. This is what we need. Need something to come back. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We see Queen and Doomwake still in his deck. So, alright, he's got 5 creatures in his yard, can make 5 snakes. I could attack with a Rhino, and he'll probably just put 1 snake in front of it, and I could downfall it to get in some damage. But he's just gonna play Whip, and probably whip a Hornet Queen. And I guess I probably shouldn't have played that Urborg, because then it means if he plays Whip and activates it, he has to take 2 damage, which might be helpful. But I also wanted to downfall this turn without cracking the Heath, potentially. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it to start making these trades. I don't think it's really going to get me anywhere. I'm gonna like put him to 7 before he whips himself back up to 20, so that doesn't really accomplish too much. Yeah, okay. So the Urborg thing only saved him 1 point of damage. Presumably gonna make some Hornets, and then we need to find one of our Doomwakes. I think I'm okay just taking this damage here. There's not a whole lot to be gained by just chumping. Now we have our own Hornet Queen, but he has a Doomwake. in his yard, so we need to take out this whip before we can do anything. And there's some merit to holding that land for Courser. But next turn I know I'm going to be playing Hornet Queen, and then I might need that land in play somewhere down the line. If I draw like enchantment into enchantment or whatever into like land drop. Maybe if I draw like Eidolon and draw 2, play another enchantment, draw 2, I'm going to want to play out all my lands, so I think I want that land in play. And now I think I just want to trade off Rhino, but I don't want to trade Rhino for a snake. I would probably trade Rhino for an insect. And he has a second Courser, so I don't really care about killing one. Probably have to kill one in combat to turn off his Pharika. Yep. And the snake's coming too. I'm going to put the Sage in front of that snake for sure. Sage is almost always better in the graveyard. All right. Well, there's another Eidolon. That's what we wanted, but he has a whip on top. So we can't play Hornet Queen because we'll get Doomwake, so we do have to just start the Eidolon chain this turn. We drew an Utter End. That's helpful. Yeah, I guess I'm just keeping these Rhinos back. Oh man, if he played the Wayfinder main A, then he would have still had Pharika on. That would have been pretty good. Probably should have played around that. But yeah, I think I need to Utter End this Pharika. But, like, that's what I want to do now. But now he has a whip, so now I have to kill this. So it's kind of unfortunate because he's just going to continually have Pharika advantage. But if I find a Doomwake Giant, I should be in pretty good shape. And these Rhinos are on snake blocking duty, it looks like. Say. So my horse, because he has Doomwakes at least somewhere. I probably want more Doomwakes because he's keeping in his Hornet Queen. So just things to think about while the games are actually progressing. So he's whipping his Doomwake. And might try to make a snake. Ugh. Okay, so I probably should have killed the Pharika in response to the whip, I guess, because I couldn't deal with Doomwake plus make a snake in one turn. So I guess I don't need to kill his whip. I should have just killed the Pharika. Because now I have to kill the Doomwake. Because I goofed. But now his whip is not doing much. His graveyard's, like, not really stocked. He should probably just be sending everything. Yeah, here they come. Alright. So what can I block and live? Eight 1/1s and a 5/5. So 4, 5, 6, I take 7 down to 3, and then I basically need to draw my own whip to get back in this. I don't really want to trade my Eidolons because I'm going to need those cards too, but okay. So I'm just dead. And we're kind of low on time anyway, so fine with me. Alright, Doomway, get back in there. Hornet Queen, you suck. Get out. Thoughtseizes are okay. Because he has Farika's, or not Farika, he has Ashiok. And I think I want this other Ajani. So, making my curve pretty high, but I'm gonna be on the play here. I think I want this land too, maybe, because I'm cutting all the Caryatids. And my curve is high. Anyway, I'm going to be on the play, and I have a bunch of removal, so I think the games are going to go long. I think I'll be able to hit my land drops when necessary, but I do want this land. So I just cut a Thoughtseize? Could just cut a Rhino. Yeah, we'll do that. Just cut a Rhino. Alright, game 3 for everything. Our hand does not have Engineer cards, but we do have a Scryland and a bunch of removal. So 2 answers to Ashiok, Rhino, which effectively answers his Rhino, and then we need to find something. We need to get a little something going, but we got some time. Oh, and our opponent's on 5 cards. Heh. So we kind of want a second green source at some point, but I don't think right now is the time. We'll probably just draw into one naturally at some point. And there's a Wayfinder, so that'll help us out. And we find our green source. Do we want a Heath or do we want a Force? I think we just want the Heath. Yeah, he's gonna Thoughtseize us. Don't really care. So it takes out the Rhino, leaves us with a bunch of removal. So this game will probably go on for a while. And I'm just going to run Courser out there now. So our draws develop pretty well. A little land on top, which is not the best, but our opponent's kind of floundering here a little bit. So he has a swamp on top. I have a Freaka on top. And I could just kill the Courser now because I might kill it regardless. But if I don't kill it and he plays Sidisi, that's bad for me. So I'm just gonna let Courser stick around for now. I guess if he plays Ashiok, it's kind of bad too. But because now he's gonna exile my Farika, which is kind of annoying. Leaves me with a Sage on top, which is good against that Courser though. And I'm just gonna downfall this. Save the Utter End for potential whip. But I guess he can just Thoughtseize me whenever, so that doesn't actually help. So he's got 2 cards and a Thoughtseize on top. Thoughtseize can trade with Utter End. I'm going to Rhino him next turn no matter what. So things look pretty good. Certainly helps that our opponent mulled to 5 because we're not really, you know, crushing him by any means. We're not putting up we're not like drawing a bunch of cards like we would want to be doing. Alright, so now what's the deal? Do I Utter End the Sidisi and lose the Rhino to a Thoughtseize, or do I play Rhino and lose the Utter End to a Thoughtseize? I think I'm better off Utter Ending the Sidisi. So if I play Rhino, he takes my Utter End. He's at 6, I guess? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's at 6, but I can't really attack through the Sidisi. Yeah, I think I just Utter End. And attack. I could see attacking with the Satyr also. He takes 4 down to 7, Thoughtseize me down to 5. Yeah, I'll get the Satyr in there too. I think he's better off trading with Sage. But, alright. And even if not, even if he kills my Wayfinder, I still don't mind that, as long as he doesn't play a Rhino. Oops. So up to 9, Thoughtseize my Rhino. Now I'm kind of in trouble. Another Courser on top. So I'm ahead just because he's so low on life. So we'll see what he draws. Reclamation Sage is pretty good. It's really not bad. I'm just going to block, because I'm not in a position to be double blocking that Rhino. Get to clear land off top, but I have another land on top. So now we're just trading hits where I take 3 a turn, and we have an Ajani on top. So that might be able to help us out a little bit. And I don't want to attack because I have the Ajani. Now he has a whip. Okay. Good thing we didn't play that Urborg yet. So he's drawing whip with a card in hand. If he had a removal spell, I think he would have killed my Courser and started hitting me with the Sage. That's not a lock, though, because he might be thinking that I might spend a turn with a Johnny pumping up my Courser, which I'm considering doing, because last turn I could have hit him for 2 and then played a Johnny, pump my Courser, and like forced him into the abyss. So I can pump my Courser, make him stay on D, and then go digging next turn, but I know I'm drawing a Temple. And even if I hit something off a Johnny, it might not be enough because he'll have active whip, and I'll be like, block Rhino, block whatever you whip, probably the Sidisi. But he'll get some zombies, hit me for 4, that's half my life points. So yeah, I need to find another creature, I think. Eidolon's good. Take that one. And Utter End's pretty nice. Kills the whip or the Rhino, whatever I need to kill more, whatever matters more. And he has a Hornet Queen on top. So he's sandbagging a land, which makes sense. And should have just been playing it, I guess, because now if he had played the land and hit a land off the Courser, you could just play whip and activate. Where's this Courser coming at? Me? So he's giving me the option of double blocking the courser with a whip in hand, which means that he wouldn't be able to whip and activate next turn. But then I'd lose my Eidolon. But I'm pretty scared of him just using Queen next turn. Or casting Queen next turn. And I think I might have to Utter End the Rhino to not take damage. So yeah, I'm just going to block. Keep the Eidolon around. I don't want to make that trade, actually. And we have a whip on top, which would be good-ish. Okay. So you can also whip back Doomwake Giant. I think I need to find another thing. I could put 2 on Courser, 1 on Eidolon. That doesn't do it though. So assuming I Utter End the Rhino and I get Doomwaked. No, I need to find a Doomwake. I need to be able to kill his Queen when he plays it. And it would also be nice to draw a card. So we found a Doomwake. All is good. Kind of running out of time here, but we should have enough time to finish this. And now I kill his Sage, which means that if he hits a land, he can whip it back. But I think that's okay. Now am I in a position to attack, actually? I think I am. So if I go attack, he goes whip activate. I can kill the whip so he doesn't have lifelink. Block the Rhino. But he gets Sidisi back. So I can only attack for 2, I think. Unless I Utter End something that's not whip, but then he just gains a ton of life. Yeah, so I need to do this. I need to make it so him playing whip is not good. And he just doesn't hit a land anyway, so that's fine. So now I'm getting Hornet Queened. And then I just need to find an enchantment, it looks like. And we have some shots. We have the Windswept Heath and everything. So Queen Bee is in there. I think I'm going to Utter End something. Might actually just be the Queen. Maybe it's supposed to be the Rhino. I don't know. I'm going to kill the Rhino. I think I can beat the Queen if I find an enchantment. Might be better to just Utter End the Queen and then maybe Downfall the Rhino, but I might not have the luxury of casting Downfall this turn. Okay, so we have an Eidolon on top. So that's sick. We get to draw 2, Doomwake him. Downfall the Queen, and then I think he's dead. Because he has to chump Doomwake. Takes 4, I have a creature back. Oh, I just get another Doomwake. That will also do it. That will actually just kill him. Perfect. All right. Okay, cool. So there you go. At this point, you've seen a couple whip mirrors. You know basically what's going on. It's just like this crazy struggle for board supremacy, and I find these games very, very interesting. And I don't think the things that I'm doing are 100% like the best that you can be doing. But it's been fun trying to figure it out, basically, and I'm still working on it.